Okay, we're out at the property on Eagle Harbor Drive. I'm now looking towards the back edge of the lot, Bucklin Hill Road. I'm actually going to walk a little closer. So we're quite a ways from Eagle Harbor Drive right now on the back edge. There's the road down there. Some ambient noise. There's actually a little bit of traffic. That's the second or third car that's driven by in the last 30 seconds or so. But it's well off of the building site. I'm going to go to the left, my left, to look towards the neighboring property. So there's a wood shed right there and some sort of storage. I am standing directly behind where the house is situated. So that is spilling, it looks to me like it might be spilling over onto the Eagle Harbor Drive lot, which of course could create an issue. Now I'm circling back around towards Eagle Harbor Drive, which is well below the hill that I'm on. There's some sort of a marker right there, so I'm wondering if that's the lot line marker, which is why they've built their woodshed over here a bit. I'm going to walk down towards Eagle Harbor Drive and show you some of the views. So as you can see through the trees, it's a little bit of a peekaboo view from up here. The view actually gets significantly better as we keep walking downhill. Ground's pretty solid right now up here. As I get lower on the hillside, of course, it gets a bit more wet. We've had heavy rains the last couple of days, so I'm sure that contributes, but I think the ground is generally wet, just as a rule of thumb in this location. So there's the water. You can see the water, and I mean, frankly, I'm on a patch. There's the neighboring property. There's the blue house you're talking about. There's another neighboring house right there. Those are really close to Bucklin Hill. Trees to the east. Really heavily treed to the east. Probably not going to be a view to the east, but there is a better view of the water than I anticipated. So you see the fence line on the left. I think that's the field you were talking about on the north side, right there. That may very well be the wetland. I mean, it looks pretty rough, like a wetland would be. I still have to do a little homework on that at this point. So looking through these trees, if these can be removed, these are not big trees. If these can be removed, then there certainly is a view and from here. But my concern is that there's what looks like septic. And I know the septic is a pump system, so I think I see septic right there. I'm not positive where the drain field is, but looks like there's some sort of a perk system going right to my right. Excuse me. So I'm kind of standing in the middle. I'm assuming the tanks are right around here somewhere, and the drain field is probably just below me. We're going to walk down to the right of these trees, which is where the stream runs. And the stream appears to run through the neighboring property. It's in back in these bushes a little ways from here, but it does run down fairly close to the actual house. So as I'm coming down the hill, this ground here is awfully firm. I think if you could remove a few trees, you'd certainly have a view of this inlet. It is sloping. I would say medium slope if I were to describe it. I think you can get an idea from my walking of how that slope is. And there's the old homestead site, I believe. And we can poke our heads in there too. There's the house just below it. Now the ground's starting to get a little squishier. Stream runs along to my right in the thicket, and it pops out closer to the house. I'll show you where that is as well. And it appears to be running deep into that underbrush. So just once more, there's the house. You can see the water from the house, especially if you cleared out a couple of these smaller apple trees. Looks like there's a little orchard there. Or if you built up a little higher, we could probably get a view up above there. But to the right, which is facing east, I don't think we're going to get anything out that direction. You actually have a bluff in the way and some trees that are not on this parcel. This is the old homestead site. It's not in horrible condition. I'm not sure if it would be considered historic condition without some appropriate renovations. but it's certainly standing. It's not going to fall down anytime soon. It's been shored up a little bit. Alright, now we're walking back down a little bit closer to the actual house that is standing. I can hear the stream to my right, and there's a fence line. I think you can see it through the thicket here. And this fence line is directly, the stream actually runs directly underneath it. It comes down through this area here. It's not a big stream, but it certainly causing some moisture. And so again, there's the house right here. My concern is this monster retaining wall that they've built, which is actually in really good condition. But obviously there was concerns about some sloughing. That's why you'd build that retaining wall, and I'll take a closer look at that in a second with how they built it. Certainly the roof needs to be redone, and I think I would just demolish the chimney stack that's exposed. Maybe keep some of the exposed brick inside if we could clean up the roof and seal it up. But so here's a stream, little pool going on right here underneath that fence that I just showed you, which is not very far from the house. And it's awfully moist down around here. And so here's the old house that was built in 1910. The foundation looks to be pretty solid from what I can see. I'll get in the crawl space later. But this retaining wall is interesting to me. It doesn't seem to have a grade, and there's some puddling going on. Of course, there's some drainage issues we know in the crawl. They may be related, so I don't know if this would have to get blown out of here and rebuilt. I mean, it's actually really a sturdy little retaining wall, but kind of interesting, and it's not the prettiest to look at. Okay, I'm going to sign off and then go inside and take another look.